Hello people, I am Jaby KOAY. I was just about to go to sleep and I noticed a comment on my movie review that I put out that the new Raw trailer dropped 3 hours ago. For some reason, I didn't notice it until I was right about to go to sleep. So I was like, what the hell? I threw the batteries into the lights. Let's do this, and then I'll go to sleep. So Raw, Romeo Akbar Walter, the official trailer with John Abraham. Just so you know, there are no subtitles on this. I don't know if I need them, just in case that was a concern. I don't have them. It also stars Jackie Shroff and Mooney Roy. It comes out April 5th. I remember being very excited by the last trailer, and I am very interested to see what they're gonna show us this time.
एक आम इंसान को खास बना देना, अपनों को उनकी औकात दिखा देना, जिंदगी का सही मतलब समझाने का शुक्रिया।
We are on the verge of a war with Pakistan. मैं तुम्हें एक ऐसे परफॉर्मेंस के लिए तैयार करना चाहता हूँ जिससे हिंदुस्तान का आने वाला कल बदल सकता है। I want you to serve your country.
बैंक मुझे कुछ महीनों के लिए बाहर भेजा है, ट्रेनिंग के लिए।
इस बूढ़ी अम्मी को मत भूल जाना।
जंग जीती या हारी जाती है सिर्फ एक चीज के बेसिस पर, इंफॉर्मेशन। तुम्हें एक अंडरकवर मिशन तक भेजा जा रहा है, जहां पर तुम्हें ये मानकर चलना होगा that you always be watched.
जो भी हो, मेरी अम्मी का हमेशा ख्याल रखा जाए।
हिंदुस्तानी एजेंट हो?
नहीं, बाहर निकलने के सारे रास्ते बंद हो चुके हैं।
इस बार इन काफिरों की दिवाली में धमाके हम करेंगे।
नाम क्या है तुम्हारा?
Okay. Oh, got pushed back to May. Oh no, I'm sorry. The way y'all do the dates is different from the way we do the dates in the States. I read that as May 4th, but it's April 5th. Anyway, what a timely movie, given everything that's been coming out in the current climate between India and Pakistan. This is a very, very timely film. One that I'm very, very interested in, even though I don't have the subtitles to know exactly what's happening, what they're talking about. I'm getting the gist of it. This is from IMDb, real quick. Movie based on Veerendra Chowdary. He was an ex-RAW agent. His spy mind benefited India in 1971 war, and many more secrets revealed by him. He went to a major post in Pak army, and through there he was leaking the details and giving to India. That was worded kind of funny, but it makes it more clear what's going on in the movie. There were so many looks throughout this trailer, like so many different styles that John Abraham's character dressed himself. He managed to disguise himself pretty well. I was actually impressed with that. The long hair thing that he does at one point, I'm still not completely on board with, but the character in general feels different from what I'm used to seeing with John Abraham, from, you know, just trailers in general. Him as just this action guy who's beefy like Arnold Schwarzenegger was back in his heyday and throwing people around and, you know, bench pressing cars and whatnot. This is a different character from him, and it feels more in line with what I saw last time with, I forget the name of the film, it doesn't come immediately to mind, but there was a film he did where it was all about India building their first nuclear missile in their test launch facility underground or something like that. I saw it a while ago. It seems like John Abraham is trying to go more in this direction with the more dramatic films that are less about him just being muscle bound and tough and more about him being this intellectual person that's smart. Well, I guess that was kind of redundant, wasn't it? Him just using his brains over his brawn a little bit more, but he's still got brawn, but it's also a lot about his brains, if that makes any kind of sense. I'm definitely intrigued by this. I like the way it's shot. There was this one moment at the end, he's sitting in the car and the windshield wipers are going and the rain is coming down really, really hard. That's specially designed for the film. I'm recalling some behind the scenes of Matrix Revolutions when Agent Smith and Neo were fighting. It was a special kind of heavy, thick rain in order to accomplish that look. They were going for something that looked kind of like the Matrix Code. Here, obviously, the director, Ravi Gurwal, wanted it to just look heavy. It looks cool. I mean, it just has a very beautiful look on camera, especially in slow motion. This is largely part of a history I've only recently begun to really dive into and understand. Like, I didn't fully comprehend everything that was dealing with Kashmir, like in terms of the total history of why it got to where it is exactly today. I decided to take some time the other day and really read up on it, and this kind of came up in my research on Wikipedia and whatnot. What I was trying to understand was why Kashmir was a thing and why it wasn't clearly belonging to one region or the other. And it was finally made clear to me, like, why there's a conflict there and why there's a line of control there. So this is making a lot more sense to me. I mean, obviously with everything going on, it was overdue that I really read up on why the conflict was exactly what it is today. This is kind of going in line with everything I've been reading, and so this is very fascinating. Just from a historical context, like, this is very intriguing to me. Obviously, like I always say, they're taking artistic licensing to a degree, because I don't know how much has been declassified so that it can be fully disclosed to the public. They're trying to create a narrative for a film, and so to fit within a film structure, you have to take artistic licensing and alter some facts in order to make it fit, you know, this story you're telling. Nevertheless, it'll at least give us a strong sense as to what was going on, what it was like in that era to be a spy on enemy lines, fighting for your country. This is it's a little bit different than Razi. It's a little bit different than that Ali Abbat film. It feels a little bit more intense and a little bit more dangerous somehow. I say that because clearly this character, this person, Romeo Akbar Walter, goes through a lot. He gets roughed up at some point because there's sort of blood on his face and whatnot. We still haven't seen exactly how that happens, which is a good thing. I'm glad that there's still mystery here. It's interesting that they're able to create a good amount of mystery, despite the fact that this is based on history. It's based on stuff we already know, or at least you guys already know. I don't know yet, but it's based on information that's already out there, yet they're still able to create like mystery within the trailer, within this person's story, so that you're curious to find out more. It's not just showing you stuff like a reenacted documentary. It's going deeper, it seems, really honing in on this person's personal journey in order to compel you to watch it. It's so fascinating to me that this film is so well timed. Like, it's one of those things where you wonder if the filmmakers would try to release it sooner or later based on the events going on. I remember for us, after September 11th, a lot of filmmakers went back in and erased the Twin Towers from a lot of footage that was supposed to be in there in the film, in the final product. They didn't want to remind people of that painful event of the Twin Towers going down. And so they completely erased it from a whole bunch of footage, a whole bunch of movies. In fact, like, I remember even the video game, Metal Gear Solid 2, which is based in New York, they went back before releasing the game and took out everything dealing with it that showed the Twin Towers. It's always fascinating to me to see how filmmakers react to current events and, you know, how that might affect what they include in their film or the release date of their film. Oh, another example that comes to mind is initially for The Last Castle, the way they marketed it was they showed the American flag upside down, but when September 11th happened, they pulled all those posters and they turned it right side up and put it back out. Or they just completely redid the posters. That's why I'm remarking. Like I said, this is dealing with history that I've been reading up on lately, and so I'm very interested in watching this just to gain more insight as to what is informing events today. I know that it dates all the way back to 1947, and that's really what is informing everything else. But nevertheless, you know, everything has a cause and effect to a degree. Like, everything has a little bit of its own ripple effect. So yeah, I definitely want to watch this. I want to reiterate, it's interesting the career path that John Abraham is taking. And I like this. It's cool. Not to say that I don't want to see him do what he did before. I'd still like to see that. There's a lot of films I got to catch up on, and it would still be cool to see him continue to do those kinds of films. But doing characters that are risking their lives for country and having to use their smarts, going through stuff emotionally, like having to deal with what looks like missing home. It seems like, because at one point you see him kind of, it looks like well up with tears, or you see him get kind of emotional. And I would imagine that has to do with either A, death, or B, he's missing his home country. He wants to go back home and he can't, or he just has been away from it for a long time. Whatever informs that, like, that's obviously gonna be more interesting than just a film about a character who's using all brawn. This is cool. I'm definitely intrigued, and I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Please be honest, be verbose. Check out our other reactions, reviews, and short films, and interviews and vlogs. I'm going to sleep now. I'm Jaby KOAY. Peace out.